Welcome back to our channel, besties. Today is a beautiful, sun-drenched day to dive headfirst into the absolute madness of Port Charles. Grab your favorite iced beverage, find a comfortable seat, and prepare yourselves because the tea we are serving today is piping hot and ready to scald. We are so thrilled to have you here with us for another wild ride through the daytime drama. Oh my God. Stop scrolling right now, I'm literally speechless. Are they for real? I've been following this chaotic drama since I was in diapers, and this is officially the craziest move yet. Besties, can we unpack the audacity? Because my brain is literally short-circuiting right now. Dude, I'm so shocked my jaw literally hit the floor when the news dropped and I am still trying to pick it up. Does anyone else feel physically attacked right now? Because I am reeling. We need to talk about this, no cap, essentially the word on the street, and by street. I mean, the absolute gospel that is the That's Awesome podcast is that Steve Burton is officially bringing Jason back to the canvas. Facts hot, take, incoming, but I low-key thought the writers were going to drag this Jakarta prison storyline out until the end of the decade. But get this, Steve and Bradford Anderson literally sat down on their microphones and casually dropped the nuclear bomb that Jason is returning. Steve said he is starting filming in June. June people slay. That means by July or early August, our favorite leather jacket wearing enforcer is going to be back in Port Charles. And I am actually losing my sanity over here. I am legit vibrating with excitement. Let us rewind to that fateful night on Pier 55, because we need to deeply analyze the total kinetic chows moments that put Jason in this mess to begin with. Jason was trying to escape town with Britt Westbourne, right? The fog was thick. The tension was palpable, and Ross Cullum, the absolute menace of the WSB, was cornering them like a predator. Cullum had that heavy iron rod raised, ready to absolutely obliterate Jason, and then out of nowhere, Rocco Falconeri, sweet, innocent Rocco who should be worrying about homework, not international espionage, displays these impossible lightning reflexes. He grabs Cullum's gun and shoots the WSB double agent squarely in the back. I am actually losing my sanity over here. The sheer mechanics of that scene, the god-tier mechanical execution of a teenager stepping up to save two legacy characters, was a straight-up masterclass in soap opera tension. It was flawless, but it also broke my heart into a million pieces. Wait, we have to talk about Jason's immediate reaction to that gunshot. The man did not even hesitate for a microsecond. The second Cullum hit the deck, Jason went into full protective overdrive. He took the gun, took the blame, and confessed to the crime to shield Rocco from the WSB's wrath. Don't you feel it's so unfair for them? Jason has spent his entire adult life taking the fall for everyone else's messes, from Carly to Sunny, and now to Dante and Lulu's kid. It is legit a tragic cycle of self-sacrifice. Is the same tragedy happening to Jason all over again? He sacrifices his freedom, his relationship with his own son Danny, just to make sure Rocco doesn't spend his youth in Steinmauer. It is low-key heartbreaking, but also exactly why we stan Jason. He is the ultimate protector, no cap. Also, can we talk about the absolute audacity of the WSB shipping Jason off to a black site in Jakarta, Indonesia? Jakarta, they have him locked up in some underground cell awaiting trial for shooting one of their bigwigs. Remember when they tried this with Anna Devane and the whole DVX WSB underground prison storyline? Yeah, it went nowhere back then either. The WSB is so corrupt, and Cullum was literally a double-crossing villain who stabbed Marco Rios to death in cold blood. But the WSB protects its own, and Jason is taking the heat. I know some people are really enjoying this high-stakes international espionage angle, but personally, I am just exhausted seeing Jason locked away from his family. Don't you think they should just clear his name already and expose Cullum for the fraud he is? And while Jason is rotting in Jakarta, let us look at the absolute mess he left behind in Port Charles. Danny is legit spiraling out of control. The kid is grieving a father who is not even dead. Danny is out here trying to join Sonny Corinthos' mob organization just to get the resources to hunt down Jen Sidwell, who Danny believes orchestrated this entire WSB capture to leave Sonny vulnerable. Danny is taking joyrides with Charlotte Cassadine, wrecking cars on Route 91. and causing massive multi-car pileups. It is a total kinetic Chow's moment every time Danny is on screen now. Jason needs to come back just to parent his child because Danny is low-key about to become a teenage mob boss and I cannot handle the stress. Let me just fully nerd out over the lead dev's crazy update history for a second. The writers and producers literally set this entire intricate puzzle up just so Steve Burton could take a planned hiatus. Steve posted about it on his Instagram back in February, giving us a heads up that he was taking a short break. They mathematically calculated the exact frame data of this storyline, weaving Britt Sidwell Cullum and Rocco into a massive web just to write Jason off the canvas for a few months. The mechanical execution of tying Marco Rios' murder to Cullum and having Rocco shoot Cullum, creating a dual-layered mystery for Dante to solve absolute masterclass in narrative design. Wait, I'm getting way too deep in the weeds. Anyway, back to the actual gameplay. How is Jason going to get out from under the WSB's thumb? Everyone in Port Charles believes it will be a literal miracle if they ever see him again. The WSB does not just let people walk away from shooting their directors, especially when they think they have a dead-to-rights confession. But this is Jason. The man has survived traumatic brain injuries, explosions, freezing water, and being presumed dead like 5 different times. Will he break out using his impossible lightning reflexes? Will someone from the inside, maybe a rogue WSB agent or even Jack Brennan, pull some strings to get him out? Or will Rocco's immense guilt finally force the truth out into the open? Besties, the tension between Britt Cassius, who is parading around as Nathan, and Rocco is reaching critical mass. Britt is legit screaming in hospital chapels. Cassius is threatening people left and right. And Lulu is fuming because she just found out Rocco spilled the tea. The fallout is going to be a glamorous collision of epic proportions. I am prophesizing that Dante's investigation into Isaiah Gannon's hit-and-run alibi is going to accidentally expose the fact that Isaiah was treating Rocco's infected hand, which will unravel the entire timeline of Pier 55. I am worshipping this incoming storm. But I am also clutching my pearls in absolute horror of the fallout because Lulu might lose her mind, and Dante will have to arrest his own son. Let us circle back to the podcast because the banter between Steve and Bradford was legendary. Bradford asking if I'm coming back, when I'm coming back, and Steve just casually confirming I'm starting in June. The casualness, the slay, they know they have us in an absolute chokehold. They know we are out here manifesting a massive brain dump with the squad because holding this in is literally not an option. We are so back, besties. The hype is real. But at the same time, I am filing a lawsuit against the writers for the emotional distress of the past few months. My mental state is just a chaotic blur of pixels and tears. And what about Carly? She is currently harboring fugitive Valentine Cassadine in her attic, sleeping with Jack Brennan and trying to orchestrate a takedown of Sidwell and Cullum just to save Jason. Carly is playing 4D chess, but she is low-key failing because Brennan just caught her with Valentine. When Jason gets back, he is going to walk into a Port Charles that is actively on fire. Carly's life is exploding. Danny is a delinquent. Sonny is hiring Ethan Lovett to assassinate people. And the Quartermains are covering up DUIs. Jason's going to take one look at this mess and probably wish he was back in his Jakarta cell fax. I cannot wait to see the look on Cullum's smug face when Jason inevitably clears his name. Cullum thought he had the ultimate checkmate, but he forgot that Jason always respawns with full health and a vengeance. The summer sweeps are going to be absolutely feral. We are going to get the dramatic return, the emotional reunions, the inevitable mob shootouts, and hopefully some actual therapy for Danny. I know this is just my personal take, and many might disagree, but Jason is the structural load-bearing pillar of this show, and without him, the simulation just glitches out. We also have to consider how Damien Spinelli is going to react. You just know Spinelli is off-screen right now, hacking into the WSB mainframe, trying to locate Stone Cold's exact coordinates in Jakarta. Bradford Anderson co-hosting that podcast and hyping up the return just proves that the Spinelli and Jason dynamic is going to be front and center when he gets back. Spinelli is legit going to cry tears of joy, and I'll be right there crying with him. The bromance is unmatched, and we have been starved of it for way too long. So mark your calendars for July besties. Prepare your snacks, hydrate, and get ready for the return of the king. The WSB cannot hold him. Cullum cannot break him. And we are going to be seated for every single second of it. I am going to be nuking the comments in a post-release frenzy when that first promo drops. Until then, we stay theorizing, we stay spiraling, and we stay standing the icons. Port Charles is about to get a massive reality check, and I am here for the absolute chaos it brings.